Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
What in the hey?
Remember us?
Oh my God, do we remember us? Hey.
Remember me?
Hey girl, hey. First and foremost. Andy,
Yes.
thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Freddy,
Yeah.
thanks for being here.
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing a normal thing finally after weeks of abnormality.
And Amy, thank you for being here. Well, thank you for having me.
So we don't even need Kelley.
We don't need Kelley. We got
Oh, we miss Kelley though.
As long as you like interviewing yourself.
Yeah.
We're retiring Kelley's jersey. And there you go.
Yeah.
This is his choice, by the way. It's
Yeah.
not,
Oh yeah. We didn't.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't anything ugly. It was really just a sweet thing where Kelley has so much going on creatively that he just one thing had to go, and I understand it was this because he's writing and he's recording music and he's got a family. So sometimes other things got to come first, and it's been 18 years. So I understand needing a break.
It's pretty good 18 years. Like
Yeah.
a lot of podcasters don't make it past it's like restaurants.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Kelley did take a couple of breaks that were like extended leaves of absence. So he has like maybe about 16 real years in, and we've got 18. You know what I'm saying, homies?
How's that affect his retirement plan? Like,
He still gets nothing. The same nothing he was getting. I mean, he gets our everlasting love and respect. He gets our hard loving.
Do you know what gets my hard loving?
Mm-hmm.
Peeps.
Are you happy with the peep?
I am. Freddie bought me some Peeps as a consolation prize for my whole life falling apart.
how's it working for you?
Hyperbole. But these fucking cotton candy Peeps, man. I'm going to be eating these while I'm talking. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Can I say they're very sweet? I know they're candy, and they're basically just sugar,
That's all it is, man.
but they're very sweet. Am I old?
It's too sweet for me. I don't like peeps. I had one, and I regret it already. My mouth feels like a fucking dumpster
I mean,
fire.
I can eat one, and I'm like done. I'm like, ooh, I'll like take a bite of it. And I was like,
No, those have to stay out to get stale so I can have them tomorrow.
I'll save the rest for later.
They come like a magazine of ammunition.
I promise you, I'm not trying to be like a pick-me, but I love all the candy everybody hates. Peeps, candy corn, circus peanuts.
Well, those are all
Throw another one at
basically,
me.
they're like the same candy.
I know.
They're all just basically pure burnt sugar.
Oh, there's Necco wafers that taste like chalk.
You know what I like? Boston baked beans.
Yeah.
The best part is when you're done, you got a little instrument.
Oh, making the, I used to do that. You can make a kazoo out of the box. Yeah.
You never did
Cracker
that?
Jacks?
Penny candy days.
Boston baked beans. And lemon heads and
You never done that?
The Red Hots.
Oh, wow. We didn't get that in Florida.
Do you know what we should do after the show? Andy brought sausages. We're going to eat those, but we should go to Supreme Nut and Candy and buy some old candy. What do you think?
I mean, I don't want to put a bra on real shoes.
Me and Andy.
Well,
Would you
if
go,
they're
Andy?
closed, it's like an old-timey candy store. I feel.
Oh, no, they're usually open till like 8 or 9.
Are they?
I've driven
Late
past
night
there.
candy?
They
looking
can
at it.
afford it, man.
Yeah, people
They're-
need to get gifts.
They are pulling in that much business.
That's
in the
supreme.
old-timey.
They're nutting supremely.
It's a miracle that store's still there.
Yeah.
In the days in this time of big candy, I'm
Yeah.
surprised they haven't been pushed out yet.
Do you guys mind if I mention what's going on next door?
Sure.
Okay. Just because this is a platform and people in Discord, our Discord server where our patrons hang out, patreon.com/NOTLP. You guys already know about this. But my sister's house, which was our family estate, if you could call it that, in the hood here, is going to sheriff's auction because she can't afford to pay for it because there was still a mortgage and back taxes on it when mom and dad died. So in the show notes, can we put a link to her GoFundMe where she's trying to?
Sure.
We have a deal where if we can raise enough money, and it's a lot of money, it's like $135,000 we need to raise.
Good Lord.
And she's got $300 so far. So it's probably not going to happen. But with GoFundMe, I think she gets to keep what doesn't. I don't know really for sure, but I think she gets to keep the money. And she could use that to move. So, and she is in a dire situation. So I just want to say that, look at the show notes if you are in a giving mood. Thanks for letting me do that.
Of course.
Those are the dogs losing their minds.
So yeah, NOTLP is going to be a lot different from now on, and I'm not really sure entirely what our final form will take.
This is a test show.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We've decided that straight-to-video Russian roulette is no longer serving us.
Mm-hmm. It is retired.
Well, the name kind of went out of fashion.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Russians.
No, they're
guns.
We changed our roulette a while ago. We got rid of Russia a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But in terms of video, there's no such thing as video anymore.
Right.
I mean, Killers of the Flower Moon, Flowers of the Killer Moon. What's it called?
Killers
of the Flower Moon.
Thank you. I mean, that never went to the theaters. Oh, no, it did.
It did.
But like within a week, it was streaming. Like, what
Right.
is even straight to video anymore? What is direct? What are we talking about anymore?
It doesn't. It's a foregone thing. Like if you like it, go back to Origins, Patreon.com/NOTLP. You can listen to us talk about probably what is it? Almost 1,000 probably movies. I would think by now,
at least, yeah,
or more. I don't even know. I mean, like, there's so many straight to video reviews there that you could go there. And now I kind of like the idea that we have a little more room to talk about the main attraction, which is always the better movie.
Right.
I mean, there was a time when that's how old the podcast is, that we had literally had to go to video stores.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember doing that.
To get the straight to video movies.
And if it wasn't there, you had to go back. Like you had a week. And you had to go to Blockbuster or Network or Family Video, wherever you got your movies. And if they didn't have the movie that you got in roulette, you had to figure some shit out.
And most of the time, there's only one copy of this movie.
Yeah, because they're always shit. They're always just a shit piece of shit.
Do you hear these
turd
two
smeared on the
just
shelf.
yip-yapping at each other about the good old days?
It's not a good
They
old
had,
day.
I mean, that they had to go uphill
We had to
both
go
ways.
uphill both ways.
There's no such a good thing about going to video. Well, there's
Oh, I miss going to the video store.
it's fun to go and browse and discover new things, but the trade-off is that we don't have to go back to the store and return things and make sure it's rewound.
Yeah. So losing roulette is not the only big change here. Amy is officially the 100% head person in charge showrunner now.
We call it head bitch in charge.
Is that what you're entitled to be?
HBIC.
And now,
why wouldn't I want that?
with the loss of Kelley who was our artistic director, now I'm taking over Kelly's artistic director duties.
And Andy is now
Social media manager, as he was already.
he was.
But unless he wants more. Do you want more on your plate, Andy?
These roles are very nebulous in the first place.
We're
They are.
bubbles.
Yeah.
And if you work where I work, you know what I'm saying.
What is it?
That we're just bubbles
We are
bumping up
bubbles.
against each other.
We are
we don't
bubbles.
have silos. We're bubbles.
We're bubbles. We cross over. There's a Venn diagram.
Sure.
But I just wanted to acknowledge that Amy created this show. We've said it many times, but
Birthed it out of my very own brain.
it doesn't seem like it's sunk in with a lot of people.
I know, nor should it.
And you know something else? I want to brag on you for 1 minute.
Lord.
Please let me.
Okay.
There's two people in this room, I think were the first of their individual types to be on a horror podcast. And that is Amy Morris, the first female horror podcaster that I know of. And Andy Hung, the first Asian horror podcaster that I know of.
Possibly gay too.
And possibly the first gay horror podcaster.
Out. Let's just say
yeah.
out.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking amazing,
We're like
right?
Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, Amy.
Fuck yeah, we are, man.
We landed on the podcast moon, planted our flag,
Whew, do you smell that
And
burning? We're blazing a trail.
and claimed it for us.
Well, you guys never toot your own horns.
It's because we're still just living our regular lives.
I blame society because we've been conditioned not to
And,
to
yeah.
be humble.
Yeah, it's
Just
true.
kidding.
No,
Yeah.
you're right, Andy.
But like I don't like it. It's nice to be acknowledged about that, but it's not something I like. Chatting out all the time. Like, I'm the first of this.
Well, no, but it's important to the history because now when we started, there weren't a lot of horror podcasts. In fact, there was only one other one that I knew of.
It's like one or two out there, yeah.
Yeah, and it was not like what we were doing. And it's been 18 years of hard work, but a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. But you guys are really you belong in a history book. Both of you do.
Thank Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really amazing.
I should like my portrait painted.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so excited about like you guys really kind of steering the ship now. And it felt like I kind of fell into that role by accident, and then I didn't even want that role. And now I'm where I belong.
Okay.
Back where I belong, on the outskirts.
Hush your buns.
With no power.
I don't know how to.
No power.
I don't want any power.
I don't know how to steer a ship. Never went to ship school.
I never went to ship school, and that is the kind of humor you can expect moving forward.
Yeah. Ship whom?
Where do you go? Where do you go to become a captain of a ship? Is there a ship school?
The Navy.
Sure there is.
It's called the Navy.
No, I'm talking about like.
Are there private ship
ships?
The
schools?
merchant marines are the civilian version of the Navy.
Okay.
And then if you want to become a leisure captain, then you get in the leisure industry.
I don't know.
Cruise
Andy.
ships.
You need a license?
Oh yeah.
I should hope.
Yeah.
If you're steering those giant behemoth cruise ships,
I'm
you
no
better
expert.
have a fucking license.
I'm no expert, but I'm a little boy inside, and if someone is a captain of a ship or a train engineer, I want to know. I want to know about it.
I mean, I thought it was.
These peeps are so good.
I just thought you just say, "Hey, can I apprentice with you?" And then you got enough hours in, and
Yeah, that is what you do. You apprentice, like you could go apprentice, like you watch Wicked Tuna ever?
I just assumed it was like the old timey days where they just picked up people on port and they become the crew.
Have you seen
And
them?
eventually they moved up to captain.
Is this show called The Deadliest Catch too? That's like Wicked Tuna on a different channel.
Maybe.
Yeah, Andy, why don't we do it? You want to go on be
Wicked
on a boat?
Tuna?
Let's go Wicked Tuna.
Is that the name of the show?
Yeah, one of them's Wicked
I
Tuna.
desire a love boat. What's the word I want? Like reboot with you guys.
Like me as Gopher.
I don't care who you are. I want you
Captain
guys to
Stubing.
be like the guys. I never watched Love Boat.
Oh my
I don't
god,
know.
you never watched it?
It was
all?
on all
no.
the time when we were kids.
Yeah.
Around like maybe like 1 o'clock on the lower channels, like 1964, 45.
Yeah. Imagine if you watched Star Trek Next Generation and they took all the stakes out of it and put it on a cruise ship instead.
All right, then let's watch it.
It
It's
was-
the most low stakes version of like people on a vessel that you can get.
I think it was paired with Gilligan's Island back in the day.
Yeah. And Love
Oh, shit.
American Style, which was Love
That
Boat
I
on
watched.
land. That was the Love Boat on land.
Yeah. But I want to see you guys in a remake.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so we're shit cannon straight to Video Russian Roulette. Bye, bitch.
Adios.
See you later.
Hasta la vista, baby.
We're just going to do main attraction here today. There could be other segments coming down the line. We're giving ourselves the opportunity to creatively foster some things.
yeah, to kind of reboot.
I don't know. Life is really hard sometimes, and just get caught up in your own dumb shit.
Yeah.
This has always been so important to me, this show, because it's something I built, and it's something that gives me a lot of stuff. It gives me a lot of good.
I'm glad you're fighting for it.
Yeah.
Not stuff in like stuff. I mean, it gives me a lot of like, I've got a lot of people in my life that I care about now, and I know that care about me, and that I can talk
Well,
to.
not just that. I think it's a good creative outlet.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
to talk.
You
Let's
need-
get
Everybody has their
relatable.
thing.
Who's depressed?
Yeah, she needs
Raise your
a-
hand.
Don't you agree that Amy needs a creative outlet? She's like the only one of us that didn't really have much of a creative outlet other than this podcast.
I kicked the Roomba the other day,
Yeah, that was creative.
so I need.
Oh, that hurts my feelings.
He's fine.
It's going to maximum
I'm just-
overdrive
it's
us.
It's like
I felt
you
bad
see those
too.
videos of those delivery robots and people are being jerks and just tip them off for no reason.
I want you
Yeah.
to know I
Did he-
gave him a warning.
Did he do something to upset you?
I was in this room. This is a small room with a big table in the middle. There's a lot of fucking cords. And he was just fucking obsessed with this one area, and he kept getting underfoot.
That's where I buried the
Caught
old man's
up.
heart.
Yes.
It's the telltale heart with
And so we
Marvin
have to get rid of Marvin.
because he's too close.
And I was like, get the fuck out of here, Marvin. And I thought he left. And he came back, and I kicked him.
He's too close to the truth.
Did he let out a
Yes.
like a squeal or
You know what? He went a
a
little,
whimper?
he went like this way. Freddie ran after him and went, Marvin.
Come
I
on.
was like, Marvin, I was like, what did you do?
I feel like Elon Musk should get on that. Make
Yeah.
make robots have reactions, so people will be nice to the robots.
Oh, that's something that he wants to do the opposite, I think. I think he wants people to be more like robots.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't feel good about it, but at the time, it's what needed to happen.
I know it doesn't define you, and people make mistakes. You're not canceled because you kicked a robot, but
I broke our key box.
It's not a good look.
It's not a good look. Freddy, you at least broke something that
doesn't move.
Doesn't move.
If it moves, it's living. I was so frustrated I broke the key box.
It doesn't perform a household duty.
Yeah.
It is just simply a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Marvin at least has a little bit of.
It holds keys.
Well, did you give the key box a name?
Yeah, we did not.
No.
Well, and there you go. That is fine too.
Well, it was also like an in and out, like for your mail, like an in and out box, which was old fashioned. People probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
Mail. See, the mail, kids, is.
Yeah, but I broke that part. And that's the part that I just started using correctly for the first time in years. And then I destroyed it.
So we just get a new key box.
I just throw the mail away.
Okay.
Who needs it?
I don't know.
It goes right in the garbage
We
now.
probably need some of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Amy needs it for her job.
Oh, that's right. She needs to continue to generate junk mail so we can eat. And have a
You
roof.
guys think I still do a lot of that, and I do.
Well, your company does.
But I also do a lot of other very cool things. So
You're
I'm
part
not
of it.
just a junk
Like
mail
cooler
lady.
than junk mail?
I'm just saying you're involved in it, and if
I
it goes
am
away,
complicit.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Complicit.
understand. But I'd be so sad if the post office went away.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And I hate when people say the post office loses money. It's not supposed to make money. It's a service.
It's just a service, government service.
Service fuckers.
It's like the police or the fire stations, or when the government sends you one of those big phones with clicky buttons on it instead of a smartphone.
The jitterbug.
A jitterbug.
Dear book. That's a
Wham
reference for all you young ones.
Man, we are just, this is Old People Cast. Welcome to Old People Cast. Honestly, I haven't engaged with any culture really in like 2 weeks, so I don't have anything to like report on other than John Cena was naked on the Oscars.
They said he wore a flesh something or other.
Yeah, he had like a what's it
modesty.
called? Not a merkin, but what's a
It was like a flesh-colored
yeah.
pair of underwear that is supposed to make you look naked.
Did you guys watch the Oscars?
No, I hate
Why
that
would
shit.
No.
Don't you like pageantry?
Yeah, you wake up in the morning and you watch the videos of the interesting things.
Did you watch it?
Yeah,
How was it?
it's fine.
Yeah, it was all right.
Like it's more habit at this point, not because I'm invested in any of
FOMO.
the movies, because none of the movies really appeal to me. I don't want. I appreciate their artistic integrity and what they're trying to do, but I do not want to see. Is my idea of joy is not seeing a Holocaust movie or
Right.
or a movie where it's about the genocide of Native Americans.
Right.
Thank you.
I need
Here's this guy's pain.
yeah.
And then here's this lady's pain. And then here's all of these people's pain. And
here's Lindsay's pain.
But like I'm just more of a popcorn movie person at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm more of a no TV or movie person right now.
I
don't know
will
why.
try to, if it appeals to me, I'll watch it. But like 3 hours, no.
Yeah.
God, are you just trying to alienate your audience?
You know what though? Are you talking about Killers of the Flower
Yeah.
Moon? I really liked that a lot. I thought that was really good.
I'm happy for you,
I didn't expect to.
but it's just
That's
the
so good
subject
for
matter.
you.
Yeah.
The subject matter is going in. I know it can be very depressing.
Wait, have you watched it?
no,
Oh, okay.
that's like I said, like just reading the synopsis.
Yeah, it's called Prejudice,
Yeah.
Andy.
The way I get out of it is say, I tried to read the book and it was boring. And that way I feel like people will stop.
Boring? Wow.
asking
Sorry
me.
about that.
I mean, I did see Oppenheimer, but that was more to be more by curiosity than
You're
anything.
being part of the Barbenheimer moments.
Yeah.
Like it was built up so much that the movie event of the summer, and just when I was curious, and it was fine. Nothing I would ever see again.
Yeah.
Nothing necessarily. I don't necessarily think it needed to be on IMAX.
We saw that on IMAX. We saw it together
Yeah.
with Brandon,
Yeah.
right?
I'm just saying, most of the movie was Cillian Murphy's face,
Right.
Yeah.
and
he does look like Oppenheimer.
Do you need IMAX for that?
I don't know if you want a giant Cillian Murphy head, you do.
I know a few ladies out there that
I'm just saying he's a good-looking guy, but it doesn't need
Yeah.
I don't get the
For, like-
I don't. To me, he just looks like a big weasel. I don't know. I love him. I love his. I think his acting's awesome and everything. I just don't. I don't see what you see like from the sexual attractiveness.
He's like
department.
those,
I'm not into it.
He's
but
along the
Used to be.
lines of an Adam Driver, of these
I get Adam Driver.
I don't.
these unconventional
Yeah.
handsome guys.
Everybody's beautiful though in their own way.
Now some people are ugly.
No.
They're ugly inside. There's a lot of people that are ugly inside.
There's only one guy I can think of right now that I really think is ugly to their core, who's living, and who's orange.
Oh, I can think of a lot of people.
Has big hair, big yellow hair.
Oh, oy, oy.
He's a monster.
Did you guys hear the news about the next Scream movie?
Is
Yeah.
it still happening?
Nev Campbell's back, and Kevin Williamson too.
Kevin Williamson.
Oh. Are they going to bring back like Wes Craven's Ghost to direct? No,
Listen,
I'll be interested.
I'm not a fan of what happened to that actress from the last couple of Screams, but I'm gonna be real. Her character did nothing for me. I'm like, okay.
Right, I didn't care.
Like I don't want her to lose her job, but I'm also not like, oh no. You know?
Right, I get it.
Nev, now that shit is good.
She deserves it.
I'm curious about
owns that shit.
how big that check was they cut her.
I hope it was gigantic.
They probably had to have Kevin Williamson come back to get her back.
Did you watch what was the movie he made that was Scream but during the pandemic? Kevin Williamson?
Sick, I think.
Sick.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I mean, it was stupid. The way Scream movies are stupid, but that's a good stupid.
I do when it eventually does come out. I'm gonna do what I did with Scream 6
Oh, Andy, you rascal. You thief.
and buy a ticket to a different movie but sneak into Scream so
Yeah.
they don't get my money.
It's the most gentle thievery that you do.
I'm still supporting theaters. I'm not.
It's true.
I'm just not supporting
Do
the
you buy
movie makers
popcorn?
behind.
You still buy popcorn? though?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you did.
I
love
just
their popcorn.
I can't support the filmmakers behind Scream 7 because what they did to Melissa Barrera.
I get it.
You're like, I can't support them, but I'm going to gobble that up with my eyes and ears. But I'm going to like.
But in a way, I'm supporting Nev.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
support Nev.
It's true. I mean, really, honestly, I'm just going to beat a dead horse, so I'm just going to stop.
All right. So one thing that NOTLP will never lose, and one of the things I think that I enjoy, is having silly themes for each month, and trying to pun a little because, God damn it,
Oh, do we owe
Gotta laugh.
we owe an apology to the listener who picked Book of Shadows.
we will get back to you.
Yep.
I did watch it.
We did watch it.
Um.
And then I decided to live it for a week.
So this month, March, it's March Gladness. Because we're just going to watch our comfort movies. We're each picking one. For the next 3 weeks, you will be subjected to what we need when we need a movie hug.
Amy picked a doozy for hers.
But you guys don't get it. It'll be so much fun.
It is really fun. I love this movie that she picked. And that's going to be in 2 weeks. But
It's a recent thing you saw, right?
No. Well, yeah. No, yeah.
It's
It's
not a
from
new movie.
1981.
I'm not saying that, but you recently
yes, X-Ray, and I've talked
stumbled
about
upon
it, but
this.
that'll be in a couple
what was
weeks.
her name that recommended that originally?
I'll have to remind myself.
She had a
Figure it out.
show. She has a
She's like
YouTube
horror
show.
host in
Yeah.
from Cleveland or something.
When we get there, I'll remind everybody. And then Andy's going to be next week. Have you decided yet? You don't have to know.
Well,
you don't have
it's
to
like
know.
I don't know what the prerequisites are. Do it just any movie, or does it have to be like sci-fi horror adjacent?
I like the adjacent, but that's me. Because that's the stuff that gives me comfort. But
like,
Well, we do fantasy, horror, and sci-fi. That covers everything except for drama and comedy, like strict dramas and comedies and documentaries and stuff.
and it's also difficult for me to pick a movie that we haven't done already yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter.
Think about it. 18 years.
Yeah, you're allowed to revisit
And,
stuff.
We've done a lot of movies.
I know.
Like a lot of the movies we pick because we want to cover them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm running out of movies, which is sad to say because there's billions of movies out there.
I
but-
know, right?
Is there billions? Yeah, there probably are billions.
If it's just 2 episodes of Murder, She Wrote, we can do that too.
yeah, whatever.
And then today, we're going to do Freddy's pick.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, life-changing movie.
A warm hug in movie shape.
Mm-hmm.
What a lovely movie.
It really is. Holds up great.
Yep.
Wholesome, educational. Exciting,
Was
joyful.
Keanu Reeves wearing a wig? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. I don't
Was
know.
it educational or did it ruin a lot of people for history because it gave you so much false information?
No,
It's like, fuck you, Joaquin. My Napoleon is eating the Ziggy Piggy.
Ziggy Piggy.
And also, it's involved time travel, so kind of as an adult, it just makes because you don't think about time travel as a kid because it's time travel is above
It's
your
too much.
Dude, that's all I thought about as a kid.
Your understanding. But when you're an adult and kind of look at these movies in a different way, I was thinking like, why?
I know.
I kept thinking of the real people. Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
You want to?
Anything else before we?
You should let everybody know what's the plan with Origins going forward.
Oh, I will be doing those intros, and I will start on those next week.
And then Freddy versus Jason is coming back, and I'm hoping Amy will join Jason and me for her favorite Friday the 13th movie, Jason Goes to Hell. And then we'll be doing that with New Nightmare, and that should be sometime, hopefully within this week or next.
I can wear my costume again.
Hell
Yeah. Would you be interested?
No,
And you can find all of this
I don't want to impose.
You wouldn't be, but I mean,
on our Patreon. This is
it would
our
be on Patreon
stuff.
That's your favorite? Like to me, 6 is the penultimate.
It's
To me
great.
too.
Not penultimate. Is that what
that
the
means I've learned what penultimate meant
word?
last year.
Is the one
ultimate.
before?
Yes.
Is the ultimate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jason movie.
Yes. I don't know what it is about. I like all the mythology shit. I'll just never
I
not
think
love
4 and 6 are the perfect.
Oh yeah,
Friday the
4 and
13th
6
movies.
are
Same.
like 2 and 3 for sure.
3's fun.
Although Manhattan's
But, like,
pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
That's where the mythology kind of cements itself.
and the
in 4 and
style
6,
does
yeah.
too, because they look 4 and 6. Andy, I think you definitely are 100% right about that, because that is like the look. It feels they
touch, the
perfected
feel.
it. They perfected what those movies
Of
are.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Although I love when Kane Hodder comes in on 7. He was the best
The
Jason.
taker of your life.
Honestly, I get 4, 3, and 5 mixed up because they're so forgettable for me, except for those damn enchiladas.
Oh my God.
Is that 3 or 5?
Isn't that? No. That's 4.
Oh my God.
No, it's not.
What is
The
happening?
enchiladas, isn't that the one with Corey Feldman? Or no, it's 5.
It's 5. I think.
It's 5.
Is that the
These
group home?
peeps are so good,
You
y'all.
know, I've had to watch all these movies so much recently that it's all just a schmear. But that was Origins. We talked about Freddy versus Jason.
Tropicana, we'll be doing that again.
Yeah,
That'll come out on Friday.
Is there anything else we're missing?
We're gonna
Andy? Can
try-
you think of anything?
To keep this train a-rolling and make it entertaining, please
And I
bear
just-
with us.
Yeah,
and
just
be
hope
nice.
you guys stick with us. You guys have been with us for 18 years.
Yeah.
And it's new territory for us too, and I'm sure for you guys too. So I just hope you give us some grace
Yeah.
and some time to get our footing. And I'm sure you guys will miss Kelley too. We miss Kelley.
Kelley wrote a really beautiful goodbye letter, or ta-ta for now letter, TTFN. And that went out to all of our mailing list subscribers. So if you go to notlp.com, it's mushmouth, and sign up for the mailing list, we send out mailers teasing themes and everything. But this one is a special one because it's Kelley kind of summarizing how he feels about his transition away from doing the podcast and into other things. But and I shared kind of that link to social media, but it didn't work on everything.
You can see it on Facebook and Instagram, the whole letter.
Okay.
But the links are on Threads and Twitter. I'm not saying X.
So many social media. And do we have to put it on TikTok? How much longer are we going to have to worry about TikTok?
I don't know.
And what's this blue sky I've been hearing about?
We have like 4 TikTok
I have an account. I
posts.
haven't been there.
We have a TikTok account, but we have like
Time.
4
We have a
posts.
Discord. Just
become
a patron and join the
Discord's the
Discord.
best.
And you can find us on Sniffies.
Sniffies.
Oh, no, you can't. You better not be on Sniffies.
What is Sniffies a real thing?
Yeah, it's a gay hookup app.
Oh, okay. A Sniffies?
I mean, it is a straight up, I'm over by this gas station.
Yeah.
Come suck my dick.
That's why it's Sniffies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they cut out the middleman of like the beating around the bush of like, hey, what's up? You want to talk a little bit? Like, hey, it's about we're fucking.
We fucking.
I made a monster out of the empty
Unless
Peeps
your
boxes.
kink is small talk and lovey flirty.
And we're also on Christian Mingle.
Farmers only.
We're on dogfarts.com because it's happening right now.
Ew, gross.
Elsa is just firing them off.
She loves it.
All right, let's move on. We're going to move on to the main attraction now. I'm in charge of the sound now, and you're just going to have to put up with me not knowing exactly what I'm doing. I'm the captain.
You're Captain Phillips.
You're doing great.
All right, hold on a goddamn second.
Yeah, you got to crank it up manually.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
Different one, but that's all right. You know, it occurs to me I didn't send you the most recent version of the main attraction music. That's kind of a middle one.
I fucking hate you.
It doesn't really matter. Who gives a fuck? I want to make a new one anyway.
Oh my god.
With all three of us.
Oh.
Rapping.
You wanna?
Yes.
And we can't say my name is so-and-so and we're here to say.
Oh, well, then I'm going to have to scrap that.
That's just too obvious.
That's the only rap I knew how to write.
Okay, Freddy Morris, you
ma'am.
picked Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as your March Gladness pick.
For several reasons. One, on the 8th, I had an EP come out. And one of the reasons that I play music is because I saw Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure when I was about 10 years old.
Did you see in the theater?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, at Northgate, Lowe's Cinema. Sticky floors, dropped off by some parents. I can't remember who I was with, but it was at least one other kid. We saw it, and we were just like, holy cow, this is the greatest thing that ever happened.
That is, the Northgate Lowe's is kind of like the TARDIS of movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was bigger inside than outside.
Like how did they have that many theaters in that little space?
Only
I'm
three,
sorry, this
wasn't
is
it?
like local stuff that we always talk
Anybody
about.
else have a TARDIS movie theater in
But
your town?
It was literally on the corner of a mall. And you look at the space it is now.
It had its own building.
Yeah.
But it was in the mall parking lot.
And it's like shocking to think that there was a movie
There's a
theater.
Noodles and Company there.
Well, that's not even the same building. They demolished it.
But like that one section, it was like there's a Cheddar's and a Noodles and Company. And to think
Birthday Party Central.
A first watch.
And to think how big theaters are now.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, do you remember? Because Amy, you didn't live here then.
No.
She was in Florida. But you and I grew up here in Cincinnati, and we both went to that theater growing up. Did it start with just 2 screens and then they added a third? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I'm sure it's in
honestly.
Google somewhere.
Yeah. But
Really?
right next door was the fancy restaurant.
Oh,
Was
the
it?
Prime and
Prime and Wine.
Prime
Prime
and
and Wine.
Or was it the Cork and Bottle? No, Cork and Bottle was a different one. Prime and Wine,
That's
yeah.
across the river.
That's where Chrissy, my older sister, would go on dates if she had a fancy boyfriend taking her out.
Ooh.
Go to the Prime and Wine, the movie.
Taking you to the Prime and Wine?
God, what a simple, wonderful time was 1988 when you could just go to the Prime and Wine or go to a movie and then go to the Prime and Wine and talk about the movie.
And go in the mall afterwards.
Oh, walk the mall and smoke and sit in the conversation
Inside
pit
the mall.
and smoke with all the other kids. And then the security guard be like, those are terrible for you. And then he lights up and sits down with you and tells you about like something awful he saw in the war.
By the way, go to any streaming platform, correct? And search Freddy Morris.
Yeah,
Look
Familiar.
for Familiar. It's the new EP, and it's
4 songs.
It's
got
Freddy bearing his soul to you.
It's got
true.
international airplay.
It does. I've had reviews. I actually have to check and see. Well, besides
It's doing okay,
my
yeah.
life has been pretty weird the last month. Has been the
We're
weirdest
being so
time.
cryptic. Do you love that?
Well, I don't want to overshare yet.
I know it's okay.
And it's coming. I'll open up
My
about
mom's
everything.
okay, if anybody's wondering.
Yeah.
She's doing really well with the chemo.
That's the main
But
thing.
it's been hard.
It's been wild. Like, because Amy's mom is in round 2.
3 starts
Or
next week.
starting round 3 of chemo for small cell lung cancer, which is, I mean, that's what I lost both my parents to. And, and we were just kind of rocked by her diagnosis, but she's been doing really good.
The bitch is doing better than me.
She's got her shit together. I love her so much, and I'm just so proud of the way she's. It's
love
just
my
really
mom.
like
Not a contest,
heroic.
Amy.
But seriously, it is a little when you're like, wow, I'm surviving. This bitch is thriving. I mean, she's got a low playlist. but what do you
Can't
have
thrive
to
with cancer.
She's a little bald too.
Oh, you
But like
can.
other than that,
You can thrive with cancer.
sure you can.
Yeah, I've seen a
You
lot
can
of people
thrive
do it.
in any situation. Certainly, if you get a little soul boost from a movie called Bill and Ted.
It helps.
Sorry for the
Excellent
tangent,
adventure.
but that's us.
That's us,
Sorry
baby.
for the cancer.
Bang, bang.
We've been tangenting for 18 years.
Yeah,
And
so-
we're not going to stop.
It's real awkward to like promote an EP
I know, but I wanted to
during
do it.
during a family member's cancer treatment.
Oh,
So I have not been promoting this album. I've been counting on friends, families, and listeners of the show to kind of spread the word that it exists. I have 5 others that are nearly finished.
Well, since we're on the promotion train, talk about your Patreon.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even remember that. Okay. Patreon.com/Freddy Music. I already have some supporters there. But that, as you know, if you've known us, again, Amy is the breadwinner in our house, and I'm just trying to pull my weight.
I bring in that good bread. That kind that's got like, like little like oats
seeds.
and seeds on top of it when they bring it out.
She does bring good bread.
I'll
We have
bring that.
we have butternut right now.
I'll bring that home.
Soft. Giant.
Amy's breadwinner. Freddy's got a Patreon. Patreon.com/Freddy Music.
I make very little money.
You make
Monopoly money.
Amy bucks.
I make Amy bucks, and I try to feed the coffers around here.
All right.
And your patronage here for the NOTLP is always appreciated,
Yes.
but also from the music stuff, all that money that I make at patreon.com/Freddy Music is going to a man named Adam A-changin, who is an awesome mastering engineer. He just did Familiar for me. If you don't know who he is, he did Father John Misty's latest album. He did the Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack album, where he kind of brought that up to date. If you know anything about mastering, like you can't in soundtracks to like these rock biopics, they don't just play the original recordings. They zhuzh them.
Yeah.
They zhuzh them up, and that's what he did, and that's what he did for me.
Do they riz them up?
They riz them.
Baby Grunk?
I did the art for this EP myself.
You're trying to bring it to the 21st
Proud of you.
century with your
Thank
logo.
you.
I know.
That's why my artistic.
But,
It looks like a child drew it though. So
You know who else were
you'll know it.
musicians? Bill and Ted's.
Bill and Ted.
So
That's
Bill
what
and
brought me to
Ted.
it. Bill and Ted.
Wild Stallions.
They rule, even though they don't know how to play their instruments.
They don't know how to
This
play.
is the beauty of it.
They
It's
don't
a-
know how to spell because it's spelled W-Y.
I
think it's
love
on purpose.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Well, don't you think, like, Amy said something to me, that the perception of the characters of Bill and Ted, most people think these characters are dumb.
I thought for the longest time they were stoners for a reason because they
Yeah.
got that California like.
Yeah.
They never
Dude, you
never
know.
outwardly
see it.
say
Yeah.
it, but I feel like that's how they were playing it a little.
Well, you got to think about the movie Valley Girl had come out with
Well,
Nicolas Cage.
It's a fine line between California and stoner.
Yeah. But have you seen Valley Girl?
Years and years ago. That's
Like,
Sarah
this
Sarah
is
Jessica
trend.
Parker.
Was she in that? No, I can't remember who.
I can't answer
You're thinking of
this for
Square
you.
Pegs, maybe. I can't remember who played the. It was like Deborah Foreman, maybe, who played the Valley Girl, and then Nicolas Cage was the boyfriend character. But that informed a lot of movies after it, like Fast Times. I think came later after Valley Girl. I'm pretty sure. And in Fast Times, Spicoli was like the prototype of like a Bill and Ted character.
Yeah.
That's Sean Penn's character, the surfer. And you never see him. You do see him getting high, and you see the smoke come out of his van in Fast Times. But that personality,
It's explicit with him though. It's
Yeah.
very like subtext. But I wonder they play them like they are incapable of handling life. But then sometimes they're like
they're
normal.
innocents. They're like children, basically.
they're like Phineas and
Yeah.
Ferb.
They seem like sexless like angel beings, and then they're like throwing the F word around or like wanting to kiss on the princesses.
You know what? They kind of like that scene in the F word you're referring to is the
Gay slur.
homophobic
the
gay
gay
slur.
slur, yeah.
But it's so quickly thrown in there for 1988, and it's done out of love. They love each other. There's no homoing.
They're no homoing each other.
Yeah. And it doesn't. It's not coming from like a hateful place or anything.
And it's only one time.
It's
It doesn't come
because
up again.
They couldn't express their feelings in a
Yeah.
healthy manner, so they
Men
had
weren't
to
allowed
go.
to yet.
What are they like supposed to be 16?
They had to wait
They're
for
high
the
school.
2000s.
Yeah, but I
I think
yeah.
like maybe I think junior year.
You think they're supposed to be juniors? That makes sense. Anyways, like what it kicks off with, you get this kind of the lowdown on their home lives where Bill.
No, it kicks off with George Carlin.
Well, yeah, you get the narration.
And it's got the best opening song ever.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I can't break away.
I love the soundtrack
The
of this
fucking
movie.
soundtrack to this movie all around.
Yeah,
Fucking chef's kiss.
when they later we'll get to it.
I got caught in elementary school singing that out loud.
Did
'Cause
you?
I used to sing that song all the time to myself. And one time we were just sitting doing our work, and I guess I was singing to myself, and I said, "You can't break away," a little too loud.
That's so cute,
and
Andy.
the teacher said, "What are you doing, Andy?"
Are you trying to break away, Andy? Are you Bill and Tedding? Are you no homoing?
But I don't even know who the artist is, but
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
it's just a really good song.
Did you have
it's
the
a really good
soundtrack?
opening. I didn't have soundtrack. Like
You just saw the movie enough that you knew the song?
Yeah.
I played the soundtrack to Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey way more, but I think I had both of them. But Bogus Journey had a better soundtrack, I think. Otherwise, Excellent Adventure is a much better movie.
Yes.
Or
overall.
is it kind of like the Gremlins 2? It's just good in a different way.
Yeah, it's still. I love Bogus Journey. I love it, but like Excellent Adventure is actually like formed part of my personality, I think. So it's a core memory.
So did anybody else start to Cars this a little bit?
Andy did.
Yeah.
You already said he did.
Just because
Like what they had to go back in time to prevent this, but they always have had to have had
I
to
don't
do
know
it.
what he was preventing in the first place.
Yeah.
Do other people know what carsing something means?
So Andy had a mental breakdown upon watching the movie Cars and then thinking, but why do they have doors if there aren't any humans?
What do they eat?
How do they reproduce? What do they? Yeah. So that's Carsing something.
What's their judicial system look like?
And he was like, but how do, what? Ah! And then we had to put them back together.
Do
like
they ever
Humpty
die?
Dumpty.
Why are there animals in this world?
Right. There were animals, right?
Were there?
There was a cow.
Well, no, the cows were also cars.
I know that's what I'm saying, but it doesn't make sense why there were some that can talk and be human.
Yes.
Well, human-like.
Yeah.
And others were relegated to being animals.
Yeah.
Do you think did they have bugs?
Yeah, they're like little fireflies.
Oh yeah, the little fireflies.
Anyway,
They were
I did
So-
Cars this movie because
Okay.
Now I want to watch Cars again.
the whole point was George Carlin had to go back in time to make sure that they weren't separated.
Right.
It's so
But
sweet.
There was no like their future still exists.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like-
there's parallel universes that they just don't bother with.
They don't even
explaining
bother
that.
with talking about it. They're just like,
It's
hey,
assumed
we
that you
gotta.
know.
So
Yeah.
cool.
It's very much it's a movie for science
And
fiction
also,
fans.
like the very action of bringing these people to the future
Mm-hmm.
would affect. It's a butterfly effect thing.
Yeah.
It would affect everything that happened.
You send Socrates
Since then,
back,
yeah.
and you don't think we're gonna find some weird shit written in our museums?
Oh man, that's what they should have done
About
with
the
the
Ziggy
third
Piggy?
Bill and Ted's movie. As much as I liked Bill and Ted Face the Music, they should have just been dealing with the consequences of the first movie.
Cleaning it up,
That would have been cool.
cleaning
as
up the
shit.
historical record.
But then again, they already did that with Back to the Future Part 2.
I'm just saying, like, who was the earliest person they picked up? Socrates.
Billy the Kid.
No, he meant in time.
In time, yeah.
The furthest they went back was Socrates. And then
So
the next
well,
one would be Genghis
and also,
Khan,
like,
I think.
The very fact that they picked up Socrates, that's his name, by the way. We're not saying Socrates.
No,
It's Socrates.
you're cool if you say Socrates.
It would have affected everything beyond that.
I know.
Like, it would have thrown a loop in Billy the Kid might not have existed because they wouldn't picked up Socrates, and that kind of changed things
There's
around.
always
Do you
two
feel
arguments,
like
right?
there's another parallel timeline where they didn't
Yeah.
do this.
Didn't they have Evil Bill and Ted at some point in one of these
God,
movies?
I don't
I think
remember.
in the second one they had Evil Bill and Ted.
Time travel can really fuck with you.
We should watch Bogus Journey just for the shit, for the hell of it,
For the shit,
for the shit of it, for the diarrhea.
for the smell of
But
it.
this movie is so enjoyable and so
I know, it's like, who cares?
fills you with gladness,
Yeah.
gladness, that you don't think about these things, even though you do.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
George Carlin looked cool as shit.
In his trench coat.
It is ponytail. It is bald man ponytail.
I love George Carlin. Like, so he was one of those guys. I already knew him.
Him and Herman Hesse are the only men that can pull off that hairdo.
Yeah.
And I love
Nobody
that
else.
you think that George Carlin is too cool for a school guy,
Yeah,
but he does a movie like this
I know.
that is so like dumb.
It's not though.
It's wholesome.
Like not dumb, but like in terms of like
It is wholesome.
lowbrow, but it's like
It's
not-
silly.
yeah, silly. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
It's
he's
a confection.
well, George Carlin was silly. I mean, like he is the epitome of silly. Like his personality actually fit this movie perfectly because, you know, if you watched his stand up, his stuff would be like, you know, wordplay and goofy stuff, and he pulls faces. He's a clown. He's really great at it. And then he's perfect as for Rufus because he is more like Bill and Ted, what they would be like as adults than any other character in the movie, I think, or any actor could have been. And they could have easily just made it somebody who was one of them from the future or something come back, or it could have gone the Terminator route and had some real militaristic kind of vibe to it.
Do we know how far in the future Rufus came from?
They said 600 years,
600
right?
years, okay.
It was 30 something.
Yeah.
Something that I haven't seen this movie in a long time. So as a 44-year-old coming back to it, there's some things I picked up on that I didn't even think about or notice ever before. The Missy, the young hot stepmom, the dad and her are banging in Bill's room.
Yeah.
And he knows it's happening.
Yeah.
And it's clear and everybody's like, oh God.
And
that was
also,
fucking hilarious.
I love the reveal that his dad is just some
schlubby dude,
regular Joe Schmo. He's a guy he looks like a professor, like a
I
teacher
thought he was a
something.
professor too.
He looks like that, but you think in your mind this is going to be somebody else that doesn't look like that.
Well, you kind
of can pull such young tail.
Did he give you Martin Mull vibes?
Something like that.
Did you feel like they went for Martin Mull and then they said they got this actor because they were like Martin Mull was a little too expensive?
No, I think they went for a look more than anything.
Cardigans.
But you think that he's just going to be this muscle-bound, young-looking dad, like a daddy or something, but he's just a dude.
What I love about the character of Missy, this young stepmom, is that she is not a gold digger character. She's not a stereotype.
She's hot for his bod too.
She loves him, and she wants to be a mom.
I love that. The sad little grilled cheese they bought. She brought him.
It's so cute.
She does want to. She wants to help the boys. She wants to be like a stepmom to them, despite being 1 year older than them.
Right, but it's wholesome. It's a really wholesome thing. Was she 4 years older?
Because she was a senior
when they were
freshmen.
Okay, you're right. Never mind. So when they get to the Circle K, which is iconic. Do you remember the Circle K by the old Horror Hound Weekend Indianapolis Hotel?
Yeah.
Every time I saw that Circle K, I was like, it felt like
strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
We didn't have Circle K's in Cincinnati.
We do not.
It was a Kentucky, Indiana thing.
Yeah.
So when I had family in Kentucky, every time we visited them, we went to Circle K and got slushies and Archie comics.
I don't like slushies.
So
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was like a
I'm an icy
culture
dude.
shock to see a Circle K.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's always such a like a thing for me.
Slushies are terrible because it's just a bunch of syrup and ice that's barely broken.
Would you like to write them a stern letter and tell
I
them
just
they
quit.
need to
I quit. No slush puppies, no slushies. I'm totally a slurpy, icy.
No, icy.
Yeah.
It's if you see a convenience store or gas station with a slush puppy, just turn around and leave.
Yeah. It's bad news.
Yeah.
You're going to get stabbed.
Freddie thinks that Keanu Reeves might have been wearing a wig in some of this movie. I don't disagree.
Yeah, I think it was probably he probably was making something else at the time and had to cut his hair or something. But I might even, that might be buried in my subconscious that I knew that at some point too.
What year did Parenthood come out?
After this.
Okay.
Yeah. Not long after. I think 90 maybe.
Because I remember he had really short. They shaved his head. They shaved their heads at one point in that movie.
I love that movie. I haven't seen that in a long time.
So maybe I thought it came out in '88 or something, and that's why he had to wear a wig.
Oh, but they could have been filming those movies at the same time.
Oh my gosh, let's write to him.
Anyway,
Like, you're Keanu Reeves. Could you answer this?
One of my favorite things at the Circle K scene is they're trying to do their history homework outside of it, and they just ask random people about questions from history, like what year did Genghis Khan do this? And it's just some random lady.
Yeah, well, that's what we had to do before Google. They had an encyclopedia set,
Yeah, that's all you need.
and they had the patrons of the Circle K.
It's just the innocence of children to think that adults know everything.
Well, yeah, if they ask enough people, you're going to get an answer whether it's right or not.
But it's a very specific answer.
Yeah, it is. Somebody's proud of the fact that they know that about Genghis Khan, and that person just has to come into your life at the right time.
Genghis, apparently.
Yeah, Genghis. He was a sheep herder. Did you know that before he was a warrior? Neanderthal, yeah. Big brother.
Isn't he supposed to have fathered, be
we're all related
ancestor
to Genghis Khan.
of all? Yeah,
we are all
of
related. If everyone's connected through Genghis Khan.
The man was slinging a rope left and right, up and down. All right. To me, Napoleon just like always like was my favorite character in this movie, and I don't know why.
I know he was such a jerk.
He's an asshole. Like
the way
a child.
he was treated by his little brother, it was so. I felt for him. He
They
was
ditched
so
him.
sad.
They ditched him.
I've been ditched as a kid, and
I think we all
Yeah.
have.
yeah,
But-
before cell phones, people could just abandon
Yeah,
you
but-
places.
Think about it. You're from the 1800s.
Yeah.
You're thrown into the 20th century, and nobody speaks your language. And
He
you're-
was fine.
and you're just left.
He's
You just ate
Napoleon.
all that ice cream and
kind
you
of-
don't know where the bathroom
When
is.
they dished him at the bowling alley, I was like, oh,
It was heartbreaking.
poor little Napoleon.
He was having fun with them.
But then he was being a real asshat.
He was cutting in line left and right.
Yeah,
was.
to
At
get
the
on the.
bowling alley, at the water slide.
Did you have
Did he give you Frank
flashbacks?
Reynolds from the It's Always Sunny episode where they were at the water park?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyway.
I was wondering if it made you think of the aqueduct.
Yes, it did. And not just the aqueduct, but the water slide at the Polynesian resort at Disney
Dude,
World.
I wanna get on a water slide right now
kids
so
do
bad.
not know rules, and they would just run in front of you. Even though,
Yeah.
Just run right into your ass.
Or they laugh at your swimsuit.
Aww.
Andy had a perfectly fine Speedo on.
I
and
laugh
these
at
kids
it every
couldn't-
time I saw
They
it.
couldn't fucking handle it. I'm like,
No, but
this is normal, kids.
I weaponized my Speedo, too.
You did weaponize
because
it. Yeah.
Amy, we were in line for the aqueduct, and
They
these
kept like squishing themselves into my ass.
they kept bumping Amy's butt, and I was like, switch places with me.
They won't touch me.
And I kind of like
You did.
angled my butt toward them,
Andy's wearing his little green Speedo.
Little green Speedo. Little green
which
Speedo.
is like kind of gross because like I'm
Yeah.
throwing my butt in these children's faces.
Hey,
They
but
needed it.
it was a way to get rid of them.
They needed the
But,
consequences.
like his at the water park, Napoleon's little underwear.
Yeah, see-through.
You can see through that shit.
yeah,
We had that conversation watching it too. I was like,
I
oh
don't
my
think
God.
He's
gonna
wearing like a
be,
jock strap or
like,
something.
Yeah.
If we saw, because we saw his butt a couple of times,
Yeah.
but if we saw the front, I'm sure that he's on a list somewhere because of that.
Oh yeah, for indecent exposure.
Poor Napoleon.
But it made, I love the attention to detail in this movie though. I really feel like the writer and the director, which I don't know who these people are, even though I love this movie, but I feel like they really cared about little details.
I want to know the budget of this because there were times that looked kind of janky, like they just went to the Ren Fair or something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
But I think-
didn't need anything
I
better
know, but
than that.
I'm just saying, like I feel like they stretched their budget
yeah.
very
Probably.
well. Yeah.
I mean, like some of it was straight up goofy, like
Yeah.
when they would travel through time. The graphics
Yeah.
used for that were real silly.
Yeah.
Speaking of goofy, the one thing I did know, Amy looked up the writer for me because I was like, this writer must be a fan of Doctor Who,
Yeah.
and we never found out for
No.
sure. But he did write a Goofy movie. Same writer. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that.
I've never
because
seen it either.
was
I've
a
heard
little-
good things.
We were a little too old when it
Yeah.
came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had like a cult following
Yeah.
amongst the children slightly
The
younger.
generation after us.
The another thing I noticed this time, I don't think I'd ever noticed before, was Freud and his corn dog.
Oh, where it's
I mean, Freud.
You mean Siggy?
Siggy Freud.
Siggy. The mall sequence in general
The
is
mall
so great.
sequence and the water park sequence. Those are like my
Yeah.
favorite, and I just love them. And like they wash over me in gentle nostalgia waves. Freddy got mad at me when I was like, well, the only female character they brought back from history, they put in an aerobics class.
Oh, I didn't get mad. I was just pointing out that she was leading the
I
class,
know.
that she took over the leadership role like immediately. What I didn't know, as many times as I've seen this movie and as big a fan of the Go-Go's as I am, I didn't know that
That's
was Jane Wheadland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until this time. And now I'm like, it was
am-
like, what?
You're singing Telegram.
Yeah, Clue. Clue 2.
I know.
What an
Clue.
adorable little lady, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, I
She
loved her.
is like the definition of a pixie.
She's still great. The Go-Go's are fucking just top tier rock stars.
I have this note here about it being one of the most iconic movie finales ever. Is it? It's been so long since I've seen Revenge of the Nerds. Does it
this is
share some
way
DNA?
better.
This is like way better.
Way better. The Revenge of the Nerds version is the cornier, stupider version of the climax to this movie.
Is that where they had that concert?
With Poindexter
Yeah.
playing the electric violin and
They were,
everything?
like, doing the robot and everything.
The
Yeah.
reason I think that it works in Bill and Ted's is they set it up in the first act by them talking about the Hall of Presidents in Disney World, and then they recreate the Hall of Presidents for their term. It's not that they were trying to make a big rock concert, even though they were aspiring to be rock stars. They were trying to recreate the Hall of Presidents
They
for
are
their
creating
project.
a utopian society.
Yeah.
I was confused about that. It was just a weird thing to have these students present their history reports in an auditorium.
Yeah, that's like major nerves. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Not just your class, but it seems like the whole.
Yeah.
You know what I think happened was
parents.
the writers tried to set it in a classroom and it's
I
so
know,
stupid.
I know they needed like a bigger presentation for that.
It is weird.
But to have a bunch of students present their reports in auditorium.
It felt more like they were running for student council than it was
I guess
presenting.
it needed to raise the stakes a little bit.
Yeah.
But to me,
Bernie Casey.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention Bernie Casey. You remember from I'm Gonna Get You
Yeah.
Sucker? He's the teacher.
The teacher.
He's so great. He's good in everything. He's like Cinnamon. He's good in everything.
I mean, you can't go wrong with an Abraham Lincoln monologue.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to work. Andy is wearing his American Adventure shirt right now. And if you know about the American Adventure in the American Pavilion in Epcot, is that motherfucking Abraham Lincoln comes out.
Dude,
And he motherfucking tells you some shit.
as many problems as I have with like the business of Disney, the Disney World, and those moments like the Hall of Presidents, American Adventure, Canada, all the nations films, the films that are about people, every time, man, it just whoops.
well, this is
give me a lump in my throat.
a Disney-ish movie because
Yeah.
you learn,
Mhm.
and it's very so wholesome.
Beyonce's in it.
And they whitewash over
What?
Genghis Khan's pillaging and raping.
Oh, I was talking about the American Adventure, but
Okay.
you're right.
Oh,
Yes, we do wash over that. Yes, for sure.
When you said Beyonce, you were talking
She's
about
in the American Adventure.
Okay, she's not in Bill and Ted.
Is Billy the Kid like? What was his deal?
In real life,
Yeah.
He's just
he
an
was a
outlaw.
murderer.
I mean, he was
I mean, he was
no
a
worse than the
robber-
rest of them.
Robber and like a.
He shot a man for
That
snoring
guy,
too
right?
loud. You remember that from the commercials for the Time Life Presents the Old West?
Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
Billy the Kid one time shot a man
So we've
just
got,
for snoring too loud.
murderers and Billy the Kid and Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
They all fell in line immediately. Nobody was like, "Holy fuck!" and keeled over from a heart attack, which they should have.
But they were also they were like-minded visionaries, all of them. That's like the point of who they chose to
Billy
bring.
the Kid. How is he a visionary?
Because he survived despite being like a homeless child. Like he survived on his own.
And became a legend.
and became a legend because of it, yeah.
So great.
He was an street urchin, basically, but in the Old West.
They playing "Slippery When Wet" for Beethoven. That
I'm
like
sorry, who?
Beethoven.
Beethoven. That made me. That really, man. If you're a little bit stoned and that concept is brought to you of like old timey people being confronted
Yeah.
with new timey versions of the things they did,
It was awesome.
you're like, whoa, what would Beethoven think of fucking "Slippery When Wet"?
I
You know?
love that because they say
That's how I felt.
this is Beethoven. His favorite artists include Def Leppard, but then it was or Bon
Mozart.
Jovi. It was Bon Jovi, but he mentioned Mozart too, which is like the thought of these two. Like Mozart had heard Beethoven, but Beethoven had never heard Mozart. You know,
Can you fucking believe that shit?
and then like at least as far as I know, I don't
don't
see how
know.
it would have been possible. From I think they existed in two
I truly have no idea when they
different,
lived.
pretty
and
big
died.
differences as far as the era. But that's just cool to me. I just love that idea. I might have that backwards though. But anyways, it's just a great concept.
It's cool.
It's fucking cool. It's exciting.
And I was the mall scene. I was surprised at how big the police force is there.
Oh yeah, the mall police.
Did they have their own force?
Yeah, ever since Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
That was a great mall. It was
Yeah.
like 3 levels at
This
Ice-
mall
the ice skating rink. No, the one that in San Dimas.
in San Dimas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
San
The
Dimas.
San Dimas Mall.
San Dimas High School football rules.
Did they give everybody money? Because how did Sigmund Freud get a corn dog?
They had to have given him money.
I guess they did.
Because we
The
see
corn
them,
dog, which is a metaphor for a penis,
Yeah,
and it
I do want a corn dog
deflates
right now.
and
though.
inflates as he's happy and sad, or intrigued by something.
Man, I'm starting to get hungry now. You're talking about the corn dog.
We got sausages.
Yeah. What kind of sauce? Andy brought sausages.
That's corn dog adjacent.
Andy went to Findlay Market, which is here in Cincinnati.
With our friend Shannon and her mom, Sue.
Hi,
I didn't know Sue was there. I love you both. So what kind of sausages do we have?
Just some fun flavors. We got
Skittles.
We got Peeps flavored. Then we've got Korean barbecue. We've got something called Cincinnati chili. It's stuffed with spaghetti.
Is it really?
And chili.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's disturbing for some reason.
And
we
we've
cut
got a mac and cheese stuffed sausage.
Damn, these
Holy
are wild.
shit.
I'm so glad. Thank you for bringing those. I just I'm dying.
Crazy.
To eat some shit.
Yeah.
Get that in my belly.
You trying to get out of here?
No, I'm so cool with
I
talking
think
about
we're
Bill and
good.
Ted's.
I don't know what else you guys have to say about it.
I just thought it was fantastic. I watch it over and over again. I never get sick of it. And the music, again, we said when they go to the future and they meet the society that they helped build by just being who they are and
Be excellent to each other.
yeah, they didn't have to be
Central fucking tenet, man.
I was also confused that it's 600 years in the future, but they still have CDs.
Yeah. Well, the CDs were futuristic back then.
Oh, but the cover was.
Yeah.
Because you see Bill and Ted, a holographic thing where they're actually doing that guitar movement thing.
The windmill, that is so funny.
The fact that they still have music technology, it stopped at 1990. And then
it's like RoboCop.
Yeah.
Remember they brought the DVD in of to Miguel.
It's as
Ferrer's
futuristic
character.
as they can imagine at that moment and create. Like everything's touch screen and floating in the air shit now because that's what we're trying to do and what we're doing.
You know what I really
But maybe in the future it's all in your eyelids and you just close your eyes and you see a screen. I don't know, man.
I was gonna say just one last thing about Bill and Ted's. The thing that really struck me as a kid, and now as a 46-year-old man watching it, the Bill and Ted weren't soldiers. They weren't scientists. They were artists who didn't even have the ability to create the art that would change the world yet. That was the most inspiring thing to a kid who wanted to be an artist, and who. Of course, that dream was destroyed for most of my life, and then I came back much later in life. But to watch Bill and Ted again at this point in my life was very reassuring because when you're an artist, you question what your value to society is every day. That's what you do.
It's always good to foster talent and a spark in people.
Yeah, and I think that when you see it in other people, you should encourage it, especially if you're a parent. Give kids what they need to create what they want to create.
A phone booth that can travel through time,
or a phone booth that travels through time.
And also at the end of I feel they had an unfair advantage in terms over the other students.
Yeah,
they got staging and the lighting and music, and their presentation was a lot longer than other people. I know they put the work in.
Wasn't a competition though.
But it was also really interesting. I bet it was more interesting than everybody else's.
But were other people I didn't know we could do this.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. We used to make videos for our projects in school, and I remember some kids would be like, "We can do that." I'm like, "Well, if you ask and you do it."
It's a failure of your own imagination.
Yeah, so it's their own fault.
Yeah, I knew a kid who had a camcorder. That's all you needed. If you're a poor kid, you made sure you had a friend with a camcorder.
All right, guys.
Thank you for the movie choice, Ray. That was very
you bet.
Like a warm hug.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it so much that I made Amy watch my other feel-good movie from around the same time, Arthur, with Dudley Moore. And she still needs to finish it.
I fall asleep during a lot of things, but I was enjoying it.
It's a great movie if you've never seen it.
My only
very funny
knowledge of Arthur is when Phoebe gave Courtney Cox the Arthur haircut. Because she got Dudley Moore and Demi Moore mixed up.
Oh my God, really? I have to watch that again.
I remember that.
I've forgotten most of what happened on Friends.
Well, isn't that great?
Well, I could start it over.
Yeah.
It'd be brand new to me.
It's getting close for me to do an X-Files rewatch.
Well, I'd be into that.
And I might consider podcasting about it.
Well,
anyway,
keep us in the loop.
I will let you know. So we're doing it. This is our first show of our new era. We're like Taylor,
Don't.
It's our no Kelley era.
Oh, that's not. We come up with.
It's our middle age era. But you know what we still do? We say hi to our Beelzebubs at the end of every show. We love you. Patreon.com/NOTLP. For that, Alyssa, Branan and Emily, Jeffel, Iona Goodwin.
Own a great one.
Dr. Brian, you've been very, very nice. Sage words and advice. Thank you. Old Dirty Abilstered. Same to you, sir.
We need to get back into Baldur's
Dear
Gate.
friend. Yeah.
We need to rope Andy in somehow. You want an
You
Xbox,
can have your
Andy?
titties bouncing out and around if you
Give
want
me
it.
an Xbox or PlayStation, whatever.
If somebody can
A
send
wing
Andy
wang,
an
fling
Xbox
flanging
One X.
around while you're walking.
You have a
can do that.
PC at home?
No.
Bill
You're
Farner.
getting Adele, dude. Hey, Bill. Man, it amazes. You know, you patrons have been more supportive to me and my family than my own family has been to me and my family.
Frosted Blake's healthy breakfast. Then a side of Blayne yogurt.
It's
Pull
healthy, though. It's healthier.
Pull on your DoorDash jeans.
Your DoorDash jeans?
Your DoorDash jeans. You know what I said.
Oh, I need DoorDash jeans. Is that where I get to swell up again to like a giant fat person?
Yeah, that's what you throw on at the last minute because you're naked to get your food.
Do your DoorDash jeans.
Do you remember that Key and Peele sketch where he was the
You
really
had to order all that
Wendell
stuff?
or something and he was pretending there were other people there?
Yeah. Who hasn't been there?
I for sure do that. I'm like, they're going to think, that's why I like to go to the drive-thru by myself. Because if I'm going to order a bunch of shit for myself, they'll think it's for somebody else too. And I'm sharing it.
I see.
Yeah. I've never had food shame.
I don't care.
No, I don't
actually.
either. I because, well, that's depressing. Let's go on. Keep going.
Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora.
Woof woof. Bow wow.
Ernie, Dave Siebert, Monica, and Dustin. Thank you all so much for
Thank
being
you
our
guys. And
patrons.
I know Dustin's still on the hunt for his kitty cat that got out, but
Sending all the finding that kitty cat vibes.
know that she's out there and having an adventure, and she'll come home eventually.
When
I
they're
think.
done filming, Homeward Bound 6. I don't know how many there are. She'll come back to you.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Fuck yeah, motherfuckers. All right.
Sounds like a real
Oh
show.
shit, I got to do this now. Okay.
So if you guys want to learn to dance, what I suggest is just do it. Get in your living room, turn on a song you like, or just something with a beat. You don't even have to like it, but start dancing in your living room. It helped me a lot. I think it'll help you too if you're feeling down. What do you think, Amy? Dancing and music cures just about
I
everything.
can't hear it. I might have become unpaired. Keep talking.
Amy may have become unpaired.
I'm unmoored from reality.
Amy has become I've become unpaired.
Become unpaired.
I am floating in the ether.
Oh, Jesus Christ on a stick. All right.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to